hell is Joshua? Today we're talking about 1983's War Games! War Games is about this hacking little bastard, David, who is trying to impress Ally Sheedy, so he takes her to this creepy computer warehouse thing, something, software place to show her these guys who show him the latest games because he can get them, because he can hack things, and it's attractive, and then he almost starts World War III. Wikipedia describes this as an American Cold War science fiction journey or something like that, and that is truly the best way to describe it. I just love War Games because it's incredible and it's terrifying. The 80s was a time, as we all well know, obviously, when computers were just starting to integrate themselves into society and they were becoming more commonplace and more people were learning how to use them. And there were people who were still scared of them, as there are people who are still scared of them today. I mean, I work at a pet store. People come in all the time that are over 60 that are terrified of computers. But anyway, it is just so insane to me that something like this could possibly happen. Like, theoretically, there is a kid out there who could hack into a computer system unknowingly that is related to the United States government and just trigger some atomic bombs and be suspected of being a Russian terrorist. It's just such a weird movie because it just is so plausible. And that's kind of why I love it. It's just so... It's almost like laughing at the government. It is a big, like, fuck you to the government because you have this child who's failing his classes and who just happens to hack into this. I just love War Games because of the plausibility of it. And also, I fear War Games because of the plausibility of it. I also love that the big machine's called a Whopper. I'll never get over it. It's just a suspenseful movie. Like, even after you've seen it 1,000 times, you watch it and you are still just like, you get antsy. Especially when the CIA agents come for him at the 7-Eleven. I always am just so, like, tensed up during that scene. I'm like, David, get the hell out of there! They're gonna get you! I watched this movie for the first time when I was going through one of my many Matthew Broderick phases, but it was, like, the big ones when I watched as many of his movies as I could get my grubby little hands on. And War Games just happened to be on A&E, and I knew I had to see it, and I was like, man, we are sitting down to watch this, and my sister said, okay, and we both just fell in love with it. I, as you can tell, am a little obsessed with Matthew Broderick, and so I love this movie because it really helped put him on the map as an actor. It was his second film, only after Max Dugan Returns, which only superfans have seen, I know, because nobody I know has ever seen Max Dugan Returns. You either have to be a big fan of Neil Simon or Matthew Broderick, which I am both, so anyway, that's not the point of this. The point of this is, War Games really made Matthew a face. Because it was a popular movie, because it was just so terrifying and possible and insane. And then this movie also helped to establish a groundwork for Ally Sheedy, because while they were both so just starry-eyed and really they were just children in this film, it was amazing. Like, Ally Sheedy's character and Matthew Broderick's character both have their moments where they're just, like, annoying as hell. But overall, they gave very moving, genuine performances. It's just one of those movies, especially if you see it when you're a teenager for the first time, that you're like, yeah, screw adults. We're not as stupid as we look. So that's why I resonated so hard with this movie the first time. It's everything great in this life that I know. Science fiction, Matthew Broderick, computers, the 80s, pterodactyls, islands, hermits, people named Falcon. Seriously, if you haven't seen War Games, Lainey, watch it.
They had put a fart machine into my sleeping bag.